Today, we're going to talk about HTML syntax, the basic building blocks that will let you get started building a website. Believe it or not, HTML is a language. HTML actually stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Now, most people don't consider it to be a language because it doesn't communicate logic in the way that normal programming languages do. HTML is perhaps better thought of as a templating language, because while it doesn't convey logic, it does convey structure. Now, this structure is incredibly important to the internet as a whole because HTML is the primary building block that browsers use to display the contents of web pages. HTML is therefore an excellent starting place when diving into the fundamentals of programming. You can think of HTML as a paired language. HTML is made up of a number of tags which look like this, and you'll notice a couple of distinct things about them right away. First, there are almost always pairs of tags. In this case, there's an opening and a closing P tag, which stands for paragraph. Now, second, each of these tags, both opening and closing, have angle brackets, less than and greater than angle brackets around them. While there are exceptions to the pairing rule, notice the doctype tag, there are no exceptions to the angle bracket rule. There is always an opening bracket or a less than, as noted before the body tag there, and there's always a matching closing bracket, that greater than, at the end of the body tag up at the top right. Now, something we have to remember is that tags hold things. Tags can hold text, like this paragraph tag or P tag at the top here. Tags can hold pictures, like this image tag. This is one of those exceptions to the pairing rule. You'll notice that the close of the tag or the closing angle bracket there has an extra slash at the end. And tags can even, and most often do, hold other tags. Now, when it comes to building HTML templates, what we call the HTML that makes up a single web page, we have to nest pairs of tags inside each other, like tags and tags and tags. Also, we have things called attributes. For instance, this image tag has an src attribute, which gives the image the information it needs to know which image it needs to display. So let's take a look back at that complete quote-unquote HTML template. There are a couple of key tags we need to know about in this template. First things first, we have the doctype tag, which tells the browser what this is. It's an HTML template. It's not strictly necessary to have this tag, but it keeps the browser out of something known as quirks mode, which sounds fun, but is definitely evil. Next, we have the HTML tag, which you'll notice is a pair, one at the beginning and one at the end. You must have both, and everything must go inside them, except for the the doctype tag. Inside the HTML tag, we have two tags, the head tag, another pair, and the body tag. Yes, also a pair. We can sum up their roles by saying that the head tag contains everything about the website that you don't really see in the browser, and the body tag contains all the things that you do see in the browser, kind of like mind and body, right? Looking first at the head tag's contents, we kept it simple. The only thing in there is the title tag, which serves the purpose of setting the text that will be displayed in the browser's tab for this website. In future video, we'll look at how CSS and JavaScript can be injected in the head as well. Now, looking at the body tag's contents, we kept it simple here as well. The only thing in there is a P tag, which stands for paragraph, as I've noted before. And you'll notice that the P tag is another pair of tags, and this one contains text, the standard greeting that you'll see when you're learning any new programming language, hello world. Now, before we wrap up, there's one thing we have to be really clear about. Tags must be nested correctly. In a situation like this, the page will never display right because the body is never technically closed. And you can tell this by putting every tag on their own lines and then indenting every new opening tag to see where the pairs are. Now, you'll notice that the closing body tag in this example is mismatched. It's closing nothing, while the opening body tag is not without an actual closing tag, but it's not in the right order. Now, it's easy to get this order mixed up, so we need to be really careful that you're watching your pairs, and kind of imagine them like parentheses or quotes when you're writing a paragraph. Each nested pair must be closed before the outer pair can be closed. We'll stop here for now though. We're going to look at attributes and code cleanliness in the next video. So until then, I'll see you next time on 5 Minute Fundamentals.